Hello and welcome. Have you ever spent hours writing code but coming back later and don't understand what you just wrote? If you've been in that situation, you are not alone. I've been there so many times before. The reason being my code was not clean. But what is clean code? Clean code focuses on one and only one thing: readability. If your future self and other people can read your code and understand it in an instant and say, that's good code, then you can consider your code as clean. Writing clean code is very important because it helps you save a lot of time when come back to the project, and it helps other people understand your code better. In this video, I will explain 3 tips to help you write cleaner code. I will also walk you through some Python examples so that you can see how these principles work. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first tip is using descriptive variable name. A lot of time you don't understand your old code is because you don't name your variables correctly. Here's an example. Let's say you're trying to implement an online store. Each customer represented as the customer class has the total sales and the tax rate. In this class, there's a function to calculate the total sales tax for each customer. It can be done by multiplying the total sale with the tax rate. This is a classic example of bad naming conventions. If I don't have these comments next to the variables, I have no clue what the hell I was writing. S and T, what do they mean? To fix this issue, change these variables to more descriptive names. So change S to total sales, change T to tax rate. This way, anyone can read this code and understand immediately what it does. The second tip is breaking complex logic into smaller units. I believe the human brain doesn't understand abstract concepts very well. I find myself understand things easier when I break it down into smaller and manageable chunks. That applies to coding as well. Let's say I try to implement a Google Calendar for a team. This calendar has a function called schedule meeting. This function takes in a meeting and a user. And if we pass some conditions, we're gonna schedule the meeting. But what the hell is this? This looks confusing. A better approach is storing each small condition in a single variable and use them in the if statement. First, we check has the user scheduled the meeting. Second, we check if the user name is Alice. Third, we check has the meeting started yet. And finally, we check if this meeting is remote. After that, we combine all of these conditions in a single variable, can schedule a meeting, and replace it in the if statement. This way, it's much easier to understand what we are doing. I also prepare another example here. We have a function that assigns the salary as well as the bonus to an employee. If the employee is an engineer, we may pay him $150,000 as base salary, $50,000 as bonus, and if he performs well, he may receive an additional $20,000. We repeat this process for designer and accountant as well. This function violates the DRY or don't repeat yourself principle. So basically, we repeat the same logic 3 times and it doesn't look good. So what we can do is break in this logic into separate function called assign salary and bonus. In this function, we apply the base salary, bonus, and extra bonus to each employee. Then I call that function again in the pay salary and pass in all the arguments. You can see the code looks much cleaner now. The final tip is writing comments. I understand most people don't like writing comments because it's tedious, but having good comments in your code is extremely important. It helps you clarify all the confusion in complex components of your code. So whenever you get into a complicated part of your code base, spend some time writing descriptive comments explaining what your intention is. A simple action like this will save you from a lot of time wasted and frustration in the future. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. That supports the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.